Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on GTA 5 with a notoriously narrow part of the map. Now, we've all hit these walls many a time while driving around. Don't often manage to balance your car perfectly on its nose, wedged up against a building, although the car does eventually sort of spin away and is released back into the race, but not really what you were needing at that particular point. We're on to Forza Horizon 5 with Base Addict racing around one of the off-road circuits where the Mustang runs a little bit wide, clips a rock and goes for a pretty neat roll. I mean, that's a roll dirt rally we'd be proud of. Right there, lands back on the wheels, doesn't even lose a place in all of that. Unpoisoned in Horizon 5 is doing one of the story missions with the Beetle that forgets how to physics. Yes, that's definitely how ramps work. Don't get any points either, apparently, for phasing through trucks. I feel like that's quite a good skill to be able to have phased through trucks, but never mind. We're sticking with Horizon 5 and some reverse rolls over the top of the mountain with a pretty damn good landing. It's 3 rolls and perfectly landed in a J-turn to carry on. Definitely some bonus points in all of that. Asata on Horizon 5 is getting some bonus boards with a TVR. That gets beaten by a step. Yes, the brand new, well, it's not even technically out yet, I don't even know if it's going to happen, the TVR Griffith. I like the car, it's really cool, however, it can get beaten by a concrete step. Reverse managed to beat it, and as it kind of slid its way forward, it's caught on the diffuser, managed to get some traction in reverse to twist the car around. However, that also hasn't helped. It's now got completely beached in the middle of the car, and the rear wheels are no longer touching anything. It's not going to be moving. Well done for having managed to get the TVR completely wedged on just a step, of all things, for that car to be beaten by. But there we go. We're on to Need for Speed Heat next with Black Rock Stella. So this, at the very, very start of the race, you have all the AI cars around you, doing a little bit of a off-roady start. It's a good start from the NSX, tries to shoot its way to the lead, but there wasn't quite a gap there. An attempt was made. It was a wonderful start, but the tunnel walls closed in a little bit too fast there, and NSX goes through the floor. Still guns up next on Need for Speed Heat. Also whizzing around when they find out there is a bump and some front flips over some signs. Yes, it is dangerous off-road. Almost perfectly balanced on the tail end as well when it landed that one, but yeah, sometimes just ground can be difficult for cars to deal with. The Witchy Lady up next on Project Cars 2 is racing the Sauber C9. When we get one of those classic prototype blowovers almost, over a crest, gets a little bit too much airtime, gets into trouble, and it's a very vicious spinning and flipping on the landing when it comes back down, and well, that's the end. That's the end of the Mercedes. Awesome up next on Dirt 5. Is battling away for the top spots in this race with the Aston Martin, goes for the lead, gets a little bit too far on the inside of the course and goes for a roll, gets booted over one of the pickup trucks, not sure what it was, gets booted over another one, still rolling, and we'll come back down to land on the wheels, but a lot of positions were lost. In all of that. Hi Guy is up next on BeamNG Drive, getting things a little bit wrong with their car. Misjudges where the wall is, clips it, and almost perfectly Austin Powers their car on the bridge. Not quite. The car is not quite long enough to get completely wedged, so a little bit of shuffling, and it does manage to get free, but that was almost perfectly positioned. Phantom up next on Absolute Racing, showing that AIs in all sorts of games can be as derpy as each other. Yes, even phone games have AIs that occasionally forget how to circuit. They don't really know why they're confused at this particular juncture, but they are. We've just got a car park of some kind of Japanese cars. Sure. Why not just have a bundle of cars on that corner? And Matthias up next on Assetto Corsa is racing some Indy cars around I think a fictional street circuit. Either way, the race is going all fairly sensibly, nothing particularly wrong here. However, as they head across this bridge, there is the pit entrance, and they don't sort themselves out properly. And sure enough, everything goes very badly wrong. A few further back as well. I guess the pathing didn't figure out to let a car in, so it just ends up in the wall. There's a huge stack of them end up on the outside as well. And this is on board the car that it wants to move across, but it can't because there's an AI vehicle somewhere alongside, so it just full speed into the wall. It bounces across a few vehicles before being parked across the circuit, and everything ploughing into it, and everything stuck, and it's all gone horribly, horribly wrong. It's on board from a little further back. So yeah, the car that hits the wall initially, it wants to go across, but can't because there is an AI alongside it and pings off the wall. It's amazingly close. When it does ping slightly off the top of this car, they get away with it. A little further back, it's still pretty chaotic with the vehicle flipping and spinning its way, across the road. It's going to hit the wall there, bounces across one, and across, well, kind of more hits this one, isn't really across the top of it. This one gets away with a big whack. And finally, Calvin Tola on NASCAR 21 is competing in a race, gets things wrong, is losing the back end of their vehicle, goes for a spin up against the wall. Okay, that's a fairly normal crash, and an AI can't avoid it. Sure, we'll go with that one. We're doing the old NASCAR thing of nobody brakes for an accident and everything just plows into it, and now it's getting worse. That's a good portion of the field, and another one's got in. The car that the camera's following is going for some more spins. I mean, it's a huge mess now up on the circuit, as basically everyone is going, I don't know what's going on with the 41. I think it's being carried by something. The one's gone spinning across. There's another one on its side. More spinning, more spinning. That's just doing some nose spins. It's a complete mess. So just no one's slowing down for the crash. It's just full speed ahead into the mess. Dear. They do slow down for this part of the world. Some of them have slowed down for the later part of the crash. Yeah. I've seen that style crash on the old NASCAR 2003 game quite a lot. I didn't expect it to be a thing that we'd see on a much more modern game, but apparently, yes, it's just full speed ahead into all of the crashes that go on there. Amazing stuff. Well, there we go. That is going to be it for this week's episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to it in the description. All of the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.